What's up, YouTube? What's up, Extreme Gainz fam? I am Chuck. This is Extreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022, and this is the AMC Algo Exposed Daily Update video. Let's dig in. On your left is the 5-minute chart for today. We finished pretty much even, dead even pretty much. Up green 0.04% at $22.79 for the day. Currently down nothing, 0.18%, $22.75, 4 cents. We have been essentially flat the last 3 days. We've had volatility, but the midline flat, as you can see, open and close, I believe, has been 22.78, 22.79 for the days, I believe. With that said, today you can see I have a couple half-ass box tops drawn in here from the day. I probably need to start drawing these in their entirety. I removed them so that you guys can see this and I can present this in the video for the evening, because if not, it gets all corroded with lines. But nonetheless, oh, by the way, if you're not familiar with the box top, go back to the AMC Algo Exposed macro update / box top video. Go halfway in and watch it from there. It'll explain what this is. It's a method that I have come up with that works on this algorithm that runs this. GameStop, BlackBerry, I mean, the list goes on and on. There's stocks I don't even know about, I'm sure of it. I've been discovering them as I go, how many that are actually under this similar algo spell that creates this box top movement. And I've come up with a method to not only track it in real time, but it has some projection power to it when you deal with the supports and pulling of those support lines. And I explain all that in that video, so go check that out. Anyways, for those of you that do follow and that have been working this on your own or just here learning and listening, we watched this happen today in real time. We put the box tops on. Still having a little bit of trouble finding the thirds on a couple of them here and there. It's not as bad as it was last week prior to the run-up on Thursday. I believe it was Tuesday, Wednesday last week. I was bitching about having issues with that. And then Thursday, the result, not of that, but the result of Thursday and then Thursday evening was the run-up. But I think that's an indicator as to when things get so tightly compressed, right? I believe that's something I'm going to see again. So I am keeping an eye on that, keeping track of that in my head, and I will elaborate on that with you as I see it during the live streams throughout the day. Fed Powell talked, ironically, right when he got sworn in today for the Senate hearing that he was testifying at. After a 4% push up this morning, it got pushed right back down, and by almost 2/3 of the way through the day, or a little more than 2/3 of the way through the day, in regular hours, it had taken it all back and then up into a box top here going into the end of the day and into after hours. So that's your intraday movement. Oh, by the way, I talked about, I don't know if I said this or not, talked about the $23 level, right? And it did run up about $23.75. This was the third support pull line in the box top method from the previous one back here that we pulled up. It brought us there, okay? So that actually landed exactly where it was supposed to. All right, now from a macro perspective, I have been using, again, I'm not going to keep going backwards, but I've been using two potential comparative historical data, historical movement fractals that are similar to what we're in now in the descending wedge form, and the movements that are within that. I have been using those for a while now and talking about those. One comes from a previous video, discovery of a big brother, little brother, algorithmic fashion in which this has been portraying itself in these time frames. Go check that video out as well. And the other one's from the 7-year to 7-month macro descending wedge. And the one in the big brother, little brother is from two fractals before this. This one, not this one, but this one right here. That's where that movement comes from. And in the 7-year to 7-month macro descending wedge fractal, it comes from the last descending wedge W movement prior to the January 2021 run-up. So it's from December 2020. That's the first one we're going to take a look at. Again, nothing has really changed since yesterday due to it being in the same place. But I want to show you, I mean, we have expanded, you know, what, 2 candles or 3 candles since we did this yesterday. And on the 4 hour here, so I want to show you that. I guess maybe 4, 8, 16, yeah, like 4 candles. No, 3 candles. So anyways, here it is, right? This is from December 2020 in that 7-year to 7-month macro descending wedge prior to the January run-up, which obviously includes a parabolic move that we got in January. I clipped that out to show you this. You can see from a bird's eye what it looks like, right? Lines up okay. I want to point out that both sides of the double-double are inside of the mid-sized descending wedge. More importantly, first off, the first confluence got hit directly. And when you line this up, right, it gives you the direct hit that covers up that candle. Here would be the initial hit on this one. And this comparative fractal lines up as a direct hit on the upcoming confluence that I've been talking about and pointing out, almost kind of hoping for. And that lands on Thursday, January 13th. So in this potential scenario of future movement based off of this previous fractal, it would indicate within the next 2 days, obviously, or the next, I guess maybe the first part of tomorrow, maybe not, but then after that, the half a day, and then the following full day, a move down to this confluence of support by Thursday, the 13th, according to this. If and when it follows this and it gets down here, we will gauge and see in real time together probably whether or not this thing holds up or not, the confluence holds up, or whether it breaks or not, right? We do have another support underneath in the form of this yellow line. That is the macro descending wedge that it's in. And then we have the gap fill area, which is the black space between the lines here. That would also, I believe, at some point act as a support for it if it were to come down here and hit that. So in this scenario, I don't see that happening if it continues to follow this. Okay, so that's the one from December 20th. Let me get, well, I'm just going to move it up just in case I mess this video up and have to redo it. And this one here is from the fractal, 2 fractals ago that I just showed you in the same descending wedge that we're in right now. This one here is a little bit different. Right there. So what I want to call to your attention as well is the bird's eye view. You can see that it sits pretty well in there as well. This does only come up to here and create a box top up here before creating more movement, right? You can see that. I want to point out the levels in which are identified here that make or have some sort of standing, make some sort of sense. But before we do that, again, I pointed out yesterday, we didn't get the full candle movement down here to the gap fill area. We did get this wick down to this area in here, as you see, and it's followed it since then. This one here indicates a potential move up first, and that's why I said in the other one, it looks like there might be a small move up first in the first half of tomorrow, and then downside. This one here, pretty much the same, but a stronger move to the upside, okay? We'll gauge that as it comes tomorrow as well, excuse me. Followed by a push down. Now, this one here hits the confluence, upcoming confluence of support dead on. However, this one shows that it could potentially break, and then it does come down to the macro descending wedge support before getting its bounce up out of there. With that being said, I want to point out this. After the bounce up out of there, this fractal indicates it, and it shows that the mid-sized descending wedge resistance that it's in is significant in this scenario, and it lines up with that as a rejection off of that before it turns back around, retests, and breaks out into the next box top. Those are the levels I want to pay attention to there. I'll be watching first thing tomorrow I think first thing in the morning will be a really good surefire indicator as to which one of these may be playing out, if at all, right? We're just going to track it as we go, day by day, level by level. That's how I do things, and I'm going to continue doing it. But I want you to see these things and what it is that I'm looking at, like always, okay? And update daily on. All right, so that's that. Now, the micro to macro comparison. This is, I have one giant, and I think people are getting a misconception here. I answered a couple questions today. It's not a bunch of different individual scenarios. There are a bunch of scenarios as far as the movement in which we're exhibiting in here and what I'm trying to project moving out of here by using AMC's own historical data points and historical movements, right? Which is why I've done this and why I just reviewed that with you. Those are the different scenarios that I'm looking at. However, the whole theory around it, right? The big brother, little brother video that I put out with that theory in it, the 7-year to 7-month descending, macro descending wedge, and the micro to macro, quote unquote, snake algo, for lack of a better term, are all part of the exact same theory, just an outside in and inside out way that I've tried to piece this together along the way in real time with you guys live here on YouTube. Okay? So I just want you to have the concept of that. It's not a bunch of different, it's one theory that has a bunch of different moving parts. We're talking about two different things here. I've given two options that I think could potentially play out here macro, and then I come in here and show you what I think the potential actual root theory of this entire algo is. It's something I've been tracking and digging on. You guys all know that. So I just wanted you to understand the concept of the moving parts. This here is that, right? It's the micro to macro comparison. This is the 5-minute chart from December 15th to December 17th. This here is the macro 4-hour chart from December 15th to today and beyond, which is going to be in the future. I made a video on this. Please go watch that to get the entire concept of what this Algo ID theory is that I have and that I've been digging on, exploring, and it's all coming together. I just haven't put it all together yet. And I'm not ready to present it because I'm not quite there yet. And I don't know when I'm going to be. I know I keep getting asked that. As soon as I'm there, guys and gals, I promise you I will put a video out. I promise, promise, promise. Anyways, this is what I'm tracking, okay? As you can see here, it's very similar, right? We have the M, the down move, the M, the box top, down move M, the box top, the move down, and then I said in yesterday's video or last night's video, I thought we were right here where we had a bigger blow up followed by a smaller blow up, a bigger blow up followed by a smaller blow up, and if this continues to, and it has so far, right, to portray this and repeat what this is doing, as I feel this has blazed the path for, we should see downside the next few days. 1, 2, 3, 4-ish days, potentially 5 days. If this is it. Not what I think, just if this is what it is. I don't throw my thoughts and feelings on these things. I let the charts kind of speak to me, and I try to match them up the best I can to give me some insight. And again, it's a theory that I've been exploring. So if that's the case, this is what I'm expecting, this movement here down into the bottom, which would be the full, this would be the full double-double, right? The double-double, double-double, if this were to be actually what it is that I'm hoping it is. So that's what I'm looking for from the micro to macro, okay? I don't even want to get into the time frames and everything yet, so I know some of you already know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to wait till I can put this all together. So I'm watching that more intently than I am the macro, right? This is like the macro comparison charts. I believe this here would, if it is the one, would really, really, really blow this thing wide open. Anywho, if that's the case, after it makes the double over here, then you see what happens, right? Okay. Anyways, that's the micro to macro. This is the macro to comparative historical movements of AMC that I'm using on it, and the intraday movement for AMC, what it is that all of them are telling me and what I am looking for going into tomorrow and beyond. We will keep updating. I will be live tomorrow morning once again at 9 a.m. just like always, from open to close. Come by. I appreciate it. If you would, do me a favor, like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And right before I go, thank you to everybody that understands what it is that I am attempting to do here and getting behind that and being a part of that with me. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. And I have taken a firm stance on what it is that I'm here to do, and I'm going to stay with it as long as I have the support from you guys. So I greatly appreciate that. It really showed up today. I went back through the comments after I ended the live stream and looked at what I didn't get to see in my moment of array, but I wanted to see what that looked like. And man, I appreciate every one of you people, guys and gals, all your support from the deepest part of myself as a human being and as a person. So I thank you guys very much for all of that. We're going to continue to forge ahead and get through this thing. We're going to figure this thing out as we go. This is all new to me. I have a learning curve as far as all this stuff goes, and I'm learning as I go. But hopefully I'm learning with you guys there with me, right? So I appreciate that. I just wanted you guys to hear that directly from me to you, and I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Well, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Like I said, I'll be live tomorrow morning. Market open to market close. I am all week, Monday through Friday. Would love to see you there. If you've never been there, come check it out. It's a good space to be in. I promise you that. All right, y'all. I am going to let you go. Please leave a like on your way out. And if I don't see you in the next video, I will see you in the live stream tomorrow morning. Enjoy your evening, guys and gals. Talk to you then. Later.